Hello students, I welcome you back to Gurukulam online learning classes. Today we will discuss the question and answers of the first lesson of English of class 10th, Goodwill. In the last video we have already discussed and learned a lot about this hymn taken from Yajurveda. Okay, so today we will carry forward with discussion of our answers. Let's discuss. The first question is, all the three stanzas of the hymn begin with the word may. Why? Now, to answer this question, you must understand the hymn. The hymn is a prayer. The hymn is a prayer. It's a prayer song. And that whenever we wish or whenever we pray for something, we always start with may. May you live long. May you prosper. So all the wishes, all the prayers, it starts from may. Wishes also starts from if I were, but particularly prayer, it starts from may. So as this Goodwill is a hymn, hence all the three stanzas, it starts from may. All the three stanzas of hymn are invocation. Invocation means calling out. When you call on any deity in prayer, when you do prayer, when you call on prayer, over here in this, we are calling on to the divine essence. That is the peerless spirit, the soul. And we are praying, we are calling, we are invocating. Hence, we have used may in all the three stanzas. I hope it is clear. Let's move to the next. Make a list of the verbs used in the poem. What is a verb? What is verb? Verb is a parts of speech. Verb means action words. If any words shows that it's in action, it's doing something, it has done something, or it will do something, it is known as verb. You must have studied verb from the earlier classes. Okay? So verb, when you will go through the poem, you will come across lots of verbs. Some of the verbs I have written from the poem is perform, abides, which means live or work along with, lies, resolve, done. There are many more verbs in the poem. Now you have to find the rest of the poems, the rest of the verbs in the poems. Let's move to the next. Say the following words and use them in a different context. In English, one word could be used in different meanings. So over here we have four words: spirit, may, mind and flame. So we will use these words multiple times, but in a different context, in a different meaning. Okay, let's start with the word spirit. He died, but his spirit lives in. He died. He is a personal pronoun for a man. A man died. He is no more, but his spirit, his soul lives in. His soul lives among us. The soul does not die. That what was explained in the Goodwill as well. So over here in the first stanza, spirit means soul. And in the second, I have bought a gallon of spirit to clean. I have bought a gallon of spirit to clean. Now over here, spirit, gallon is an amount. I have bought. Bought means I have purchased. Gallon is an amount. of spirit. Now spirit, I cannot purchase soul. Over here spirit does not mean soul. It means a cleaning material, a spirit. It's a cleansing agent, okay, to clean. So over here spirit, over here we have used in the context of soul, and over here as a cleansing agent. I hope it is clear. Let's move forward to the next. Next is May. Next word is May. A son was born to Sam in May. Now over here in the first context, May is a month. May is a month. Like January, February, March, April, May. So our son was born to Sam. To whom he was born? To Sam. And in which month? May. His words, and then now the next sentence, his words may be true. Now over here May is not, it is not the name of the month. Over here it is a possibility. It shows a possibility. His words may be true. May be false, may be true. So May over here does not mean the name of the month, but it means it shows possibility. That something could be right, something could not be. Next word is mind. He has a beautiful mind. Mind. The sentence says he has a beautiful mind, which means he is very intelligent, he is very creative, he is very innovative. So mind means over here this mind, creation, innovation. Next, guard minds the train. Guard, do you know, everybody know guards? There is a gatekeeper. The guard, you must know what is guard. The guard minds the train. Now over here minds does not mean mind. Minds means take care of, look after. The guard look after the train. Okay, did you understand this? Over here mind is your mind, and minds over here to look after, to take care of, to guard something. Okay, I hope you understand this. There is a fourth word, flame, which is left, and I am asking you to do the same with the word. Let's move forward. Answer the following questions in 25 words. Explain. There is this line taken from the poem, from the hymn. The line is that peerless spirit that lies in all creatures, may that my mind resolve what is good. So the question has asked us to explain this line. That peerless spirit lies in creature. Peerless spirit. Over here peerless spirit means soul, individual soul. Our soul. Soul resides in all of us. Every being, a plant, an ant, an animal, everything. So the soul which resides in all of us, in all the creatures, means in all the creatures. So that's what it is said. A unique soul. Peerless means unique. Spirit means soul, which resides, means lives in all creatures. And at last, in the next part, the poet is praying that may that my mind resolve in what is good. The poet invokes, it calls his mind, his conscience to do only what is good. Okay, let's move forward. Does the deathless flame in stanza 2, line 2, refers to an everlasting flame, the flame of knowledge, or to the soul that lies in all creatures? Give reasons. The deathless flame. When you will read the whole, the second stanza, you will come to know that the deathless flame over here, it is referring to everlasting flame, everlasting knowledge. A knowledge. Over here we are speaking of everlasting knowledge, the pure knowledge, the true knowledge. Okay? And how we come to know that it means knowledge? By reading the another lines adjacent to it. May that which is deep, knowledge, intellect, memory, that which is the deathless flame, which lives in all living beings. Okay, so over here we are speaking of deathless flame as an everlasting flame, which we are referring to deep knowledge. Okay. Okay, let's move to the third. Why is the mind linked to a character in the goodwill? In goodwill, in this hymn, the poet, the person, the author, the mind, he has related mind to a character. Why? It is very simple. Charioteer, what is his job? Charioteer's job is to control the horses. And what is the job of the mind, the conscience? To control the body. The two, they do the same job, that is to control. And hence, over here, mind and charioteer are compared. Now, let's move to the next. In what sense is the word mind used in the goodwill? We have already spoken about it. The mind and the goodwill, it means the soul. Jeev Atma. And we are praying the soul to only do what is good and nothing else. Okay? The word mind is used as individual soul in the goodwill, and it is expected that it will perform only the good things by divine nature. Okay. To the next. Answer the following questions. What is the central idea of the poem Goodwill? Central idea means what is the essence of the poem? What the poem is trying to convey to us. Now, what is the message? It is very clear. In the hymn, it has been directed or asked or prayed to Jivatma, or let's say to our soul, to our mind, to our conscience, to do only what is good. That is the simple message, the central idea of the hymn. The central idea of the goodwill reveals in the mind of Jivatma, who always performs noble deeds. Goodwill also indicates toward a saintly mind. Saintly means nice, good mind. The spirit of wise person is controlled by the divine nature, and the mind guides noble people like a good charioteer, that we have already discussed in the previous answer. Let's move to the last answer. What is the significance of the title Goodwill? Goodwill, the meaning of the goodwill I have already explained to you in the last video. The goodwill means benevolence. It means compassion, a feeling for prosperity to all, towards all. Okay? What is its the importance? Let's read out. Goodwill means pure mind and intentions. One who is true in words, deed, thought alone can develop goodwill. But to develop this goodwill, what we need to do, we just need to be pure with intentions. We need a clear mind, and we will definitely can develop goodwill. Goodwill is just basically another name for pure and malice-free conscience. If you have a good conscience, if you have pure conscience, then you have goodwill. If you do not want to hurt others, if you do not curse others, this is goodwill. A man of goodwill is never envious. He is never envy. He is never jealous of others' progress or pursuit. He is never jealous of anybody else's happiness. He feels delighted, happy in others prosperity. In others, if others are happy, he is happy. That is goodwill. He controls his senses and guides man like a charioteer and works only for what is good. A person who has goodwill, himself will control all his senses and will do only those things which are good for him as well as others. So I hope I have cleared all the answers. Now I will also forward the PDF of the same answers to you in the group, and if you have any problem you can revert to me for the same. I will also give you your assignment in the PDFs. I hope you guys will do it, okay, sincerely. So we'll meet again in the next video. Until then, goodbye, be safe, be at home.